So with number 6, we are starting the section of the practice test where we're going to, instead of solving our systems by substitution, we're now switching gears and we're going to be solving our systems by elimination. And so we're given the two equations that make up our system, the first being x plus 5y equals 3 and 6x plus 6y equals 18. And so we know that when we are using elimination, we have to first decide which of our variables do we want to eliminate. That's our first question. Do we want to eliminate our x's, or do we want to eliminate the y's? And if the system is set up as such that one of the variables, x or y, immediately eliminates right off the bat, go ahead and eliminate that variable. But here, neither our x nor our y are set up to eliminate, and so we can choose which variable we want to eliminate. But I think because it will be less work, I'm going to go ahead and choose to eliminate the x's, right? And remember, when you're looking to eliminate, you're looking for one equation to, let's say, so for this example, if we're going to eliminate our x's, we want a positive 6x here, which means that this x here has to be a negative 6, right? Because in order for them to cancel, they have to be the same number, just opposite signs. And so what are we trying to multiply this first equation by so that we can get this x from a positive x to a negative 6x? Well, if we multiply this whole equation by negative 6, we'll accomplish that, right? So let me go ahead and, instead of writing really small here, let's rewrite this equation. Equals 3, and then we'll rewrite the second equation, plus 6y equals 18. And again, we want our x's to eliminate, and so if I have a positive 6x here on the bottom, let's make this 1x a negative 6x. And we do that by multiplying that x by negative 6, but we can't just randomly multiply a single term of the equation. We have to multiply everything by that same number. So rewriting the equation now, so I'm going to rewrite this first equation down below. And so we have negative 6 times x gives us negative 6x. Positive 5y times negative 6 is now negative 30y equals, and now positive 3 times negative 6 is now negative 18. All right, and now we're going to add. So positive 6 minus 6, that goes away. And so we've eliminated our x's. And now we have 6y minus 30y. Well, that's going to give us a negative 24y. And then 18 minus 18 gives us a 0. And solving for y, we'll divide by 24 on both sides, or negative 24 rather. And so we're left with y equals, well, 0 over negative 24 is just 0, and so the y is 0. And now that we've solved for y, let's go ahead and take this value and we can plug it back into any of the original equations, including the equation that we manipulated by multiplying by negative 6. But let's go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and plug the y value into this first equation here, the very original. And so, oops, birthday reminders. So we're left with, let's see, x plus 5y equals 3. That's where we're going to plug this value into. And so that's going to give us x plus 5. Now plugging in our y value equals 3. Well, 5 times 0 just goes away, doesn't it? And so we're really left with just x equals 3. And so now that we've solved for x and we've solved for y, we have real numbers, two numbers. Let's go ahead and put these into an unordered pair. And so we'll have 3, 0. And now this is the solution, 3, 0, for this system solved by elimination. And now if you chose, excuse me, to solve this system by substitution, you would get the same answer, but just be careful, because if your professor is specifically looking for one of these methods, if they're looking for you to solve the system by elimination, but you do it by substitution, you may not receive any credit or you may not receive full credit You'll get to the same answer, but they want to make sure that you can solve these systems multiple ways. And so if you solve the system by elimination and you're not sure if you did it correctly, again, you can take this solution, plug it into both of your original equations, and you should get true statements. And another way that you can check yourself is, once you've done this process by elimination, do it over again by substitution, and you should get the same answer. Right? But just make sure, if you're asked to solve a system by elimination, that you have shown work on the test somewhere using elimination. If you're asked to solve by substitution, make sure you're showing the work for substitution. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the next question in our next video, number 7.